Thanks for joining us. The time is now 7 a.m. I'm Phoebe Murray. You are watching 15 News Plus, streaming live on Roku, Apple TV, Fire TV, or our free WMTV 15 News app.
Connected to you on all devices and wherever you stream. This is WMTV 15 News Plus.
Today is May 11th, and we want to give you 5 Wisconsin headlines of the day in 50 seconds. One person is dealing with life-threatening injuries after a fire broke out at a home in Janesville. Fire happened yesterday afternoon from Locust Street. Later this morning, Paul Van Dyne and Andrea Whitaker are scheduled to appear in court. Both of them are accused of trying to poison women in 2 Wisconsin counties. A man is in custody after authorities say he shot and killed a woman in the township of Baraboo. The shooting happened on Friday at Pewett's Nest Nature Preserve. A worldwide outage of Canvas caused stress and confusion during finals week at universities across the country, including UW-Madison. The website was restored by Friday night. And nearly 10,000 students graduated from UW-Madison this weekend. The university's spring commencement was held at Camp Randall. That's your first 5 in 50 seconds. For a deeper dive into any of these stories, download our free 15 News app. We do want to take a peek out at the roads here, which seems that the camera has shifted a little bit, but we are tracking a pretty serious crash along Wisconsin 73 that is leading to some major delays. You can see a little bit of those at the top of your screen. A crash there now blocking the right lane coming into Madison near Deerfield. So if that's part of your morning commute, please take note. But in the weather department, through those traffic cameras, some beautiful sunshine to start the day, Charlie.
Yeah, we have sun. Unfortunately, overnight it was clear, light wind. That kind of sets things up for a chilly morning, and we did have frost in place this morning in some spots. We will get a lot of sunshine in, though, and temperatures will rise into the 60s, still a little bit below average, but for another 58 minutes, we have a frost advisory in effect for the counties shaded in light blue. This is a freeze warning, the purple, that will also go until 8 a.m. Skies are mainly clear across southern Wisconsin. A lot of sun out there. 32 in Camp Douglas. That's the only spot still below freezing, but a lot of the northern part of our viewing area did drop below freezing overnight. There's a little bit of wind. These are the current wind chills, mostly middle and upper 30s. A lot of sunshine through the day, a steady climb in temperatures that will push us up into the 60s by this afternoon with fairly light wind. Here's the 10-day outlook, and after the 64, 76 tomorrow, back to 63 on Wednesday, then another warming trend. We're up to 81 by Saturday. Phoebe?
All right, Charlie, thank you. We do have a traffic alert to also let you know about here this morning, a temporary closure of a walking route along Broome Street where the railroad crossing starts tomorrow. The closure is expected to last about 10 days. A detour will be provided for pedestrians through West Wilson Street, South Bassett, and the newly constructed path on North Shore Drive. You will still be able to access Brittingham Dog Park during this time, and Broome Street will continue to be closed to drivers as well until the 29th of May. This is all part of the John Nolan Drive reconstruction project that is ongoing. And there will be construction along University Avenue starting today. Multiple lanes will shift at the point where West Gorham Street turns into University Avenue. The right lane from Francis Street to Lake Street will be closed, and the left lane from Lake Street to Park Street will also be closed. If you need to get onto campus, Babcock Drive will be closed off from University Avenue until July. All of this week, you are asked to use Henry Mall or Walnut Street as a detour. Starting next week, Charter Street will also be available as a detour route, but it is still being repaved this week. And last week, we told you about a gallery night and how artists across the city and surrounding communities were putting their work on display for people to enjoy. And for one group of sketchers, of artists, this gallery night was part of a very big debut for them. Urban Sketchers Madison. They're sharing their first public group exhibit. So that's where we find our Ellie Pomerleau this morning, joining us live from the Goodman Center, showing off some of this cool work. Good morning, Ellie.
Hey, good morning, TV. Yeah, it's been so fun to be here this morning and check out the different sketches because there are places right here in the city. So you can go on through and say if you've been somewhere or not before, or even get a chance to see new places that you haven't seen in the city. It is free to come out here to the Goodman Community Center in their gallery and see this work. So I'm going to bring in Florence to start this morning, our Director of Communications here at the Goodman Community Center, to tell us a little bit more. First off, about this gallery, Florence, some people don't know you have this space. Tell us a little bit about it and how they can come out.
Yeah, this is the Ballwig Gallery at Goodman Community Center. It is free. It is open. You can come anytime that we're open, 7 days a week into the evenings. Just check the website for the hours. And you can come, browse, enjoy a cup of coffee, and see some new art. And it changes every single month. We have a new exhibition, but we're so happy that the Urban Sketchers are here this month.
Yeah, what is it like for you, to walk through the exhibit yourself and see places in Madison you recognize?
Oh, it's fantastic. Oldbrook Botanical Gardens is right down the street, and they've got some beautiful sketches of that. There's the Capitol coffee shops I like. It really makes you feel connected to Madison.
I love it. And then I want to bring in Kathy, one of the artists whose artwork you will see hanging on the walls today. So Kathy, tell me a little bit about the process for you. You guys go to these locations, you get 2 hours to sketch. What does that look like?
Yeah, generally we arrive and we disperse, and I usually start with a pencil sketch and then ink in the outlines, and once that's done, then you get the watercolors out and make it beautiful. So
I'm impressed. It would not look beautiful if I was doing it. So girl, it's been so fun to see. Thank you so much for joining us here this morning, telling us more. Again, if you want to come out, free to come out to the gallery and see all of this art. For now, reporting live in Madison, Ellie Pomerlew for 15 News.
Beautiful way to kick off the Monday morning. Ellie, thank you for that live report. Oil prices are rising again, and it comes as peace talks between the United States and Iran remain stalled. Brent crude, which is the international benchmark, rose more than 3% yesterday to $104 a barrel. U.S. crude also jumped 3% to $98 a barrel. Prices remain high while nearly all ships and oil tankers remain stuck and unable to travel through the Strait of Hormuz. The strait is a key waterway for about 1/5 of the world's oil supply. So let's go ahead and take a look at gas prices here on this Monday morning. AAA says the national average is $4.52 on this Monday. Here in Wisconsin, we've actually dropped a little bit, $4.37, but a little bit closer to home here in Dane County. You're going to see higher prices at $4.47 on average, which is obviously much higher than what we were seeing a year ago at this time. That's back when prices were at just $2.93. Alrighty, well, next up here on 15 News Plus, Paul Van Dyne and Andrea Whitaker scheduled to appear in court later today. What the judge will be reviewing in today's hearing. Plus, beagles from Ridgeland Farms are adjusting to life inside foster homes across Wisconsin. We'll be right back. Welcome back to 15 News Plus. Taking a peek out at the roads for your Monday morning commute. This is the Beltline at Rimrock Road, and you can see traffic moving along smoothly both directions. Snow crashes here in the Madison area to let you know about.
All right, first alert weather time. Frost advisory in effect until 8 a.m. Freeze warning in effect to the north of here also until 8 a.m. We are now 38, so no threat of any more frost in Madison. Areas to the north are still close to freezing, some low-lying areas, but if you haven't had any frost yet, you're not getting it. North wind at 5 miles per hour. A lot of sunshine coming up today. Skies are clear. Here are the current temperatures. Camp Douglas at 32, everybody else above freezing, but a lot of the area to the north of here did drop to or below freezing early this morning. The wind is pretty light, high pressure overhead. It's going to bring northeasterly wind until it drifts off to the east. Then the wind becomes more southeasterly, drawing in a little more moisture, which will interact with this warm front and produce morning and midday rain. By later in the day, this is 7 p.m., we will be back into sunshine, and a lot of sunshine is in the forecast Wednesday as high pressure takes over. We're going to pick up anywhere from 1/10 of an inch to, I guess, local totals could be up to 1/2 inch. Most spots will be 1/10 to 1/4 of an inch, though. Forecast high today, 64. The rain likely tomorrow, 63 then Wednesday. We follow that with a warming trend through the remainder of the week. And by Saturday, the high temperature is expected in the lower 80s. Phoebe?
All right, Charlie, thank you. And before we let you go, we do want to bring you some of the top stories that we are following today here in Madison. 2 suspects accused in a plot to poison women in 2 Wisconsin counties last summer will have an evidentiary hearing in Rock County Court, which means a judge will hear live testimony and review evidence about what can be used during trial. Paul Van Dyne and Andrea Whitaker each face multiple charges, including first-degree intentional homicide. Criminal complaint said they were plotting to kill multiple women Van Dyne had previously dated. Officials say the victims are from Dane and Rock County. The alleged poisonings also prompted 3 hazmat investigations in Madison last June. Both Van Dyne and Whitaker will have their evidentiary hearings at 9 this morning in Rock County. Their trials in the county are scheduled to start in March of next year. For one family, Mother's Day is an extra special day. Last spring, a Janesville business owner had a heart attack, but thankfully her mom was right there and was able to save her life performing CPR until first responders arrived. Yesterday, Amber Berg and her mom, Carolyn Moore, shared their story with WMTV. They told us it was a normal day, but that day quickly turned scary when Berg started feeling dizzy and unwell. On the phone with 911, the operator was able to talk more through the steps of CPR. Berg was put into an induced coma for about 2 weeks and was hospitalized for 2 months. Doctors warned the family she could suffer severe brain damage if she survived. She spent months recovering in the hospital and rehabilitation, relearning how to walk, talk, and complete everyday tasks.
All those simple things. Sometimes I still find myself crying when I can stand up in the shower. Feels good. And talking, writing, all that stuff.
Amber says she still struggles with memory loss, slowed speech and movements, but she says she's thankful her mom stayed by her side the whole time, taking care of her as she recovered. More dogs removed from Ridgeland Farms are now beginning life inside foster homes across Wisconsin. These dogs were part of a group of about 1,500 sold by Ridgeland Farms, an animal breeding and research facility in the town of Blue Mounds. Brown Paws Rescue in the Madison area recently took in 15 of those beagles. Those who are fostering the dogs say it's a big adjustment for the animals, as many of them are getting used to new surroundings, routines, human interaction after spending their lives inside that facility.
They're skittish, they're not sure, and everything's brand new, but they're curious in a really good way, and I think they're young, so that helps too.
The dogs are now receiving medical care, rehabilitation, and socialization as rescues work to prepare them for eventual adoption. Nearly 10,000 students graduated from UW-Madison over the weekend. The university's spring commencement was held at Camp Randall. Big congratulations to the 2026 graduating class. And this graduation comes after there was a massive Canvas outage, which affected schools across the nation. Those are the top headlines from the capital city. Tune into Wisconsin 360. It starts at 9 a.m. each weekday with live updates before our 11 a.m. newscast. So we hope to see you there. But for now, thanks for joining us here on 15 News Plus.
Add WMTV 15 News to your Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, or Google TV today and never miss a moment of 15 News Plus.